Hello, Leo. Great to have you here. My name is Shona. Today's reading is a general love forecast. As always, take the messages that resonate and release anything that doesn't. Don't forget to like, and subscribe to stay connected with upcoming readings. Let's see what's headed your way, Leo. So when I was shuffling the cards, I saw the scene at the racetrack. And it's not a horse race. I feel like it's a dog race. So you have these greyhounds racing. And I don't know why that is, but what I'm feeling is it's they're released from the starting gate, and they're all sprinting around and around, going around the racetrack. And it seems as if there's no end in sight. It's just I don't even know how many rounds they're supposed to go. So that's what I saw for you. And I feel like the energy for this week is really telling you to slow down, telling you to get your bearing, telling you to kind of ask a lot more questions. Like rather than going back and forth in circles, you should ask, what does it entail? What are my responsibilities? What do you expect from me? And just lay it all out on the line, or at least like getting the all the details first before you can make a decision. And at the same time, I feel like reading things clearly, reading between the lines, reading the fine prints, and trying to make sure that you have all the information you need before you rush full speed ahead with something. So it's sort of like doing things the smart way rather than the hard way, okay? And I just feel like, somebody tells you to jump, you jump. That's not the way that it should be. You should ask them motives, you should ask them the reason, and you should be able to make these decisions on your own rather than just going through the motions like these greyhounds around a track following, that bunny that they set up to kind of allow the dogs to run in circles. So exercising a little bit more restraint and, don't get toyed with, okay? What I feel initially when I pulled out this spread here is I feel like for many of you, you are coming into this week single. And I feel like there's a huge single vibe that I'm sensing, and you have left a relationship behind from the past. You occasionally think back, or you occasionally, wonder about this person from the past, where you've invested a lot of time, a lot of resources, a lot of energy, and just a lot of love and emotions and affection into that person. And I definitely see an opposites attract type of energy where there were, there was once upon a time a lot of love. But I just feel almost like when the love is there, it's amazing. But when the conflict was there, it's also very, very fiery, and it got out of control really, really quickly. So I feel like there might have been temper flare-ups in the interaction between you and that past person. And the passion was great, the love was great, but the conflict was also really great. And I feel like some of you still think back, wonder, how is that person doing? I wonder what they're up to. I wonder where they are living. I wonder if they're single. So there's like, the nudges in the back of your mind, hoping that they're okay. However, you are encountering new people for this week. Okay, what I have here is the Two of Cups. And the Two of Cups, this is a seemingly like a soulmate connection. So I feel like some of you have started dating, and you are encountering the energy of a person that is really, you feel a very strong soul connection towards this person. You feel almost like you can spend, a lot of time on the phone with them, like staying up. I'm seeing even adults staying up really, really late, deep into the night, talking to this person, texting back and forth, and just very wrapped up in this new person. And it looks really, really beautiful. Like it's a beginning stages of a love relationship. I feel like many of you feel very, very deeply for this new person. And I feel like you have to be a little bit more discerning. So don't get swept off your feet too fast, too soon. Get to know them a little bit more. Go on a few dates before you become intimate with them. Okay, if you haven't already, go on a few more dates. Ask a few more questions. Take off those rose-colored glasses, and really immerse yourself to find out a little bit more about this person. Don't let your emotions and your feelings and the passion and the chemistry kind of override your good judgment. Okay, because I feel like I believe you that you feel this really strong soul connection, but I also feel like it's clouding your judgment. I'm seeing a lot of speculation here and like wishful thinking. Okay, it's like I've waited for so long. I was in such a bad relationship in the past, and it took me a really long time to get to this point where I'm okay. And then all of a sudden, you meet this person who sweeps you off your feet. So of course, it's gonna feel very, very faded. Like I've waited for you for so long. However, you want to be rational about this and, come in with eyes wide open so that you know what to expect so that you don't get hurt, okay? So there's definitely new love, new beginnings showing up here. And I honestly feel like this is going to be a really, it's a really heartwarming type of a week, nevertheless, okay? Just make sure you ask those important questions. Make sure that you really get to know the other person. Okay, allow the other person to talk. Allow them to allow yourself to get into the inner psyche of this person, because I do feel like the attraction is really strong, the emotional connection is really strong, physical attraction is really strong, and so you're like, this is the one. But I feel like you need to be a little bit more careful. Where this person is coming from, I'm feeling like they are somebody that is very financially stable, but there are some quirks about their personality. They show up as the Two of Cups, but also the Devil. And the Devil is basically, I usually think of this in a mild way. It could be control issues. It's somebody that is quite jealous. They can have control issues. They can also even have substance abuse issues, even though I feel like it might have been in their past, okay? They might have been experimental in their youth, in their 20s, in their 30s. They've kicked the habit and, they're trying to get themselves in alignment. So I feel like these are things that people don't reveal, on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth date. These are things that people reveal once they've already been, physically intimate with you. So this is why it is really important to kind of delay that process and to be able to flush these things out. So I definitely feel like they might have had some substance abuse things in their past. I'm also seeing control issues. I'm also seeing somebody who is a little bit of adrenaline junkie and who takes a lot of risks. Okay, and this habit doesn't die. So that means they're constantly looking for stimulation from their environment. And if the relationship starts in a burst of energy and passion and excitement, it's going to fizzle out because you're looking at somebody who is essentially chasing the high, okay? Like they're going around looking for the next big high. And it could be the emotional roller coaster of a relationship, or it could be, just looking for excitement from their external environment. Like they can't really sit still. So I'm sensing that you need to really be clear-headed and not, I mentioned for Taurus to follow their heart, because Taurus people are generally very, very cautious. But I feel like with you guys, it's the reversed. Okay, you guys are not as cautious, and you're letting your heart guide this entire process, and you're not seeing the situation clearly. So you have some amazing cards, and it's telling you is to slow down. Okay, I don't feel like this is a bad person at all, but I also feel as if you rush the process too fast, too soon, it's going to burn out and fizzle out, and that baseline rapport would not have been established for the two of you to build the foundation of this relationship properly. Does that make sense? It doesn't mean it's not going to work with the person. It just means you have to slow it down to really find and build that common ground first before it can take off in a productive way. So that's what I'm sensing here. For those of you in coupled relationship, there are a lot of I'm seeing like financial worries, okay, between you and the partner. And I feel like one person, once again, might be very successful, and the other person is not as well employed, is not bringing home, the same amount. And the balance and the give and take in the relationship, it's effort. It's not so much about monetary gains, but I definitely feel some lopsidedness when it comes to the two of you working together as a couple, and there's an imbalance in the resources and the responsibilities being shared between two people. And I feel like that is putting a little bit of a strain in the relationship. It's not a major strain, but I feel like it's definitely something that you wish could be resolved or could be straightened out. You might wish that if you're the one that's earning a lot, you could wish that your partner is matching your level so that it creates less of a financial burden on you. And then vice versa, if you're the one that's not making enough money or not making enough to the extent of your partner, you work new opportunities that will be emerging. So it's going to take a little bit longer of a wait, but it's going to be fine. I'm also sensing as well, I feel like for some of you, there's communication here coming through from an ex, okay? And I feel like you're giving this a second go round, like you're giving it a second go, you're giving it another chance, and you are going to want to reconnect with this person. I'm seeing here Capricorn, Aquarius, Virgo, Capricorn, Aquarius, Virgo. I have the Devil, the Star, and the Hermit. Those are the cards that represent Capricorn, Aquarius, and Virgos respectively. So there's news coming through from an ex, and this is the person that you feel, you really did love them, and they really did love you too, and you're wanting to give this a second chance. And so if this is, somebody that you feel like that you have that soulmate connection with, make sure you take it very slowly as well. Okay. I generally, as a rule, I don't advocate for getting back together with exes, because every relationship has a time and a season. And once we are past that expiration date, we usually go back due to that sense of nostalgia, due to that sense of familiarity, due to the fact that we spent, a lot of time and emotions with them. So of course we're going to care about them. So it's easy to kind of transition back, but life moves forward. So I feel like you're going to want to reconnect with this person and give it a second chance and hope for the best. And, nothing's really going to stop you, but just slow down, listen and pay attention to all the red flags. And you might come to the realization that, as much as you want and as much as you hope, it's kind of like the racetrack. It's going around in circles. And there's a lot of wishful thinking here. There's a big sense of romanticism, like seeing things through a very idealistic framework. And in order for us to make things work, and in order for us to, in order for things to pan out well this time around, we just need to be very realistic, okay? So that's what I'm sensing here. I'm also seeing for many of you, let me see here. There is a person in your life that is that you really, really care about. You want to give them the world. For some of you, this can be, just children. For some of you, this is like taking care of parents, wanting to show them that, I've made it. You took really good care of me, that now I want to reciprocate. I want to take care of you. Or, look at what I'm doing with my life. Look at how successful I am professionally, and I want to buy you a house. I want to buy you a car. So you want to really show somebody appreciation. And then for others of you, this can be a relationship partner who has, stuck by your side through the worst of it and through the best of it. And I feel like there were definitely low points in your life. And I do see as well substance abuse, okay? So, and it doesn't even have to be, like it doesn't even have to be, what I feel is there was a point, and it seemed like a turning point in your life. I don't know how long ago this was, where it changed the trajectory of your life. And I feel like it might have been drugs related. So, for example, you might have, gone to the hospital for some health issues. Life was going well, you had a job, and, you might have gone to the hospital for some type of surgery, and then you became dependent on, the painkillers. And then everything kind of unraveled, okay? And I feel like this might have happened in the past, and you're trying to get your life back on track. And this person stood with you through the worst of it. Okay, so they were around. They were kind of like your cheerleader, and no matter what, they stuck around. And then for others of you, it could have been like hanging out with the wrong people, getting caught with drugs in your car, and then like I feel like it's like that. It's something that you felt was very, very innocent and very minor, but the laws are created in a way where they're not very lenient with these offenses. So I feel like there was a major turning point involving drugs, and I feel like there was somebody, or there still is somebody that stuck around, and you want to give them the world. You're trying to get yourself life back on track. You're trying to give them everything that you're trying to give them everything to show how much their presence and their support means to you. It could be a parent, it could be like a friend, it could be a lover. And I feel like at this point, some of you are still dealing with a little bit of a financial slump, and you want to buy this person a car, you want to buy this person a house, you want to, buy them like a vacation to some exotic location, you want to wish them away, and you want to just show and express it through some type of a gift. And finances are a little bit rocky, so you're not able to do that. And I feel like the financial situation will show up, will be a lot better for you guys next year. And I feel like in the meantime, what we need to really understand is that, this person was there for you through thick and thin. And money and all of these things, they're nice. All of these gifts, they're nice and all. But maybe it doesn't mean as much to them as it means to you. So maybe there are other ways of showing our appreciation. Okay, you want these grand gestures, but I feel like the other person might not even care. They just care about your presence. They care about your well-being. They want to make sure you're okay. And so that means a lot more to them than this, townhouse, than this vacation to the Bahamas, than like this luxury car. Okay, so getting to the bottom of, well, not so much getting to the bottom of things, but like kind of drawing back and really looking at what's really important. Okay, and I do feel though finances will pick up. Okay, and it'll be fine. Um, for those of you who are dealing with a water sign, so a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, and also an Aquarius, you have somebody that has been with you through some really, really intense stuff. You have somebody that's kind of like that ride or die type of person in your life. And you have somebody that really understands you in and out. They understand every single thing that you do. They understand your facial expressions. They understand like your emotions. Like they really, really have a deep rooted understanding of you. And sometimes it can feel a little bit scary, right? Like when the other person knows us so well, knows what we need without us having to verbalize it. It can feel very comfortable, but it can also feel a little bit unnerving. This is somebody that is 100% on your side. So you need to nurture this relationship, okay? Nurture it emotionally, okay? You don't have to throw money at it. You don't have to, financially, you don't, it's like money doesn't really matter in this situation. So I definitely feel like you've got somebody that is really going to be by your side. They're going to stick by your side and they're going to cling to you no matter what. And they'll always be there. And so their love is very unconditional and it feels really beautiful. It feels very soothing to me. And I feel like, this is somebody that, despite all the bumps in the road, and you might encounter a few bumps this week, despite all the bumps in the road, they're still going to be around. Okay, so try to fix it. If they're still going to stick around, you might want to just fix it because they're going to be around no matter what. So you can't get rid of them. So I definitely feel here there's a need to kind of just sort out our priorities and sort out what's really important in our lives and who's important in our lives and try to work at and nurture and really, strengthen those relationships. So I did mention X is coming back. There's another message here. It ties in with that image that I saw where I mentioned that, you have to kind of read the fine print before you get into a situation. If you are, for example, thinking about buying something big, okay, like a big item, big ticket item, make sure you read the warranties, make sure you read between the lines. And I'm seeing like, big screen TVs. I'm seeing as well like appliances for the home, things that are over $800. You need to really read the fine prints, okay? And do not buy them during the Mercury retrograde period because they will malfunction. They will have faulty wiring. They will have issues with them. And if you haven't read the terms of the contract, you might not be able to return these items. Okay, so just make sure you wait until that. I hope the reading is helpful for you guys. And best of luck with everything. I'll see you in about a week. Bye bye.